Hello, everyone, and happy Burns Night to all of you wherever you are in the world. I hope you had a lovely day or you're having a lovely day, and hope you all have a nice glass in hand. We definitely deserve it after the hacking that happened before. So I'm sorry if you actually tried to join us before. That never happened to me before. But if you have seen other videos that I try to do online on this page, you might have noticed that something always happens. So as long as we laugh it off and we don't worry too much about it, then we're fine. But thank you, all of you, for the comments already, for sticking around, and for joining us again. Lovely night, Burns night. I'm here up in Stirling, actually, in our lovely office, and I have an array of wonderful and lovely and very patient guests that have been with me through the struggle already of this hacking. So it's already been quite an adventure. So good that we're here all together. So first things first, what I'll do, I'll just tell you a little bit how tonight is gonna go. I have, as I said, a lot of nice, lovely guests. So there'll be some performances, there'll be some poetry, there'll be some music. So stick around till the end so that you can get to see all of it. We'll also have a little bit of drumming going on. You can imagine which whiskey we're drinking. It is Burns night, so we are obviously drinking the Robert Burns single malt whiskey over here. Happy Burns night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Do let me know what you're drinking tonight and if you're ready at haggis or not. I'm drinking the Robert Burns single malt, which is an Irish whiskey, so made at La Cranza Distillery, of course. One of our distilleries is Isle of Iron Distillers. It is literally the gathering whiskey. It's like the whiskey for everyone. It is lovely, fresh, zesty, all the beautiful flavors that you get in an iron single malt. Those lovely orchard fruits, very creamy, very fruity. There's sweet vanilla that comes from the bourbon cask. This one specifically, you also have a little bit of sherry cask influence. So there is a bit of spiciness and oakiness going on. Quite complex, but all in all, a favorite for like good big gatherings. It is bottled at 43%. It is uncolored. It is literally nice and easy breakfast whiskey, or party whiskey, as I like to call it. I was very lucky last year to be invited at my very first Burns night. Obviously, I'm Italian, as you can tell from the accent. And I moved to Scotland 2 years ago. I went to my very, very first Burns night, like the whole event, the poetry, the ceilidh, the singing, the haggis, the bagpiping, and I was mesmerized for weeks. I thought it was the best thing I've ever seen before. And I got so lucky also to share a few bottles of this with every single person in the room. It was like 50, I think 60 people in one room, all celebrating Robert Burns. And since then, I told myself that I wanted to do this every year. I missed out on a lot of years already, so I need to catch up and enjoy it. So I'm super grateful and very happy that so many people decided to join me today to celebrate. Before we move on and I actually bring on my first guest, I also have an announcement to do. I don't know if you followed on our social media, we had a little competition. We actually had the beautiful and lovely Chloe from Cioccolazia doing some lovely chocolate for us. I couldn't resist today, so I actually already devoured a few, I'm sorry. But I do have a second box, as you can see, for later on when I have my haggis. But we have some winners. We did tell you that we had 5 people that were lucky to win 5 boxes. So I'm actually going to give them the name. So if you're there watching, waiting, if you took part in the competition, this is your moment now. So the first winner is Bottle and Barrel. The second winner is Emma Louise 7X, specific. The third winner is Stephen Ferguson. The fourth winner is Scott Hughes, and the first one is Denise. Now, your Instagram names are way too hard to pronounce for me, but what we'll do is that we'll announce the winners on Instagram as well, and I'll also DM you directly so that you can give us your addresses and you'll receive a beautiful box of Robert Burns whiskey chocolates just for tonight. So thank you very much for participating anyway. So without further ado, I think I should bring in my lovely first guest, which is Sheila. So Sheila.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's lovely to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me, Mariella.
No, thank you for saying yes. I know that you're a busy lady, especially at Burns night. So I'm glad that you found some time for us as well.
Yeah, it's great. No, I've always got time for Arn whiskey. Always got time for Arn whiskey. As you can see, it's up behind me on the mantelpiece there. I've got my right there. My Robert. Look at that. I couldn't have positioned that better if I tried.
That is true. I also see a beautiful video that you posted on your page as well about your burnt supper, all made with local ingredients and iron, which
Yes.
looked amazing.
My Arn produce burnt supper. Just a wee bit of
So,
fun. It was just a wee bit of fun.
so when I tell people, during my tastings, when I tell them that you can get everything on iron, you are the living proof. You can get a whole burnt supper, all with ingredients that are all done, and made in iron.
And you'll maybe notice, Mariella, I put an onion sauce with my haggis. I don't put a whiskey hot sauce because for me, it's a waste of good whiskey. I would rather have an onion sauce and drink the whiskey. Just my thoughts.
To each their own. As long as you have a dram next to it that you enjoy it while you eat haggis, then you got it all. Yeah. Good. So I just wanted to ask you, Sheila, you're my first guest, so all the pressure is on you. And you're a lovely, beautiful Scottish woman. So I just wanted to ask you, what do we do today? Why do we celebrate Burns Night? Why Scotland, stops for a day, gets together with lovely people and family and friends and celebrate Robert Burns?
Okay, so Robert Burns is just one of the most revered writers the world has ever known. I'm going to explain a little bit about that when I'm talking just in a wee minute, and why that is and how we celebrate him. His words are read more widely than any other writer, and he's quoted more than anybody else as well. Everybody in the world knows about Robert Burns, and what's really nice is we mark his birthday. We don't mark his death. We don't commemorate that. We mark his birthday. So it's a really positive and uplifting event, or it should be really positive and uplifting. But I'm a great believer in Burns suppers all year round. I don't think there's any harm in having. You don't have to have your Burns supper now. You want to have your Burns supper in May, because my brother has done that. Then there's no reason why you shouldn't have it in May. The words are there to be enjoyed, and the poetry is just beautiful. Some of it's funny. Some of it's sad, some of it's beautiful. It all varies. So yeah, it's that, and I think it's the whole thing, and that's why we want to celebrate his birthday.
That is so true. I actually think if you also just the haggis as a meal, and then the dram that comes obviously next to it, no matter what time of the year. If you think about it, now that I have a Scottish boyfriend, it happens so often. It's not just a once, a year thing. It's more like every now and then where we want to, enjoy a good Scottish meal and with a dram right next to it. And why not doing it, memory of Robert Burns as well, so it's pretty cool.
And you can do lots with your haggis. You can afterwards, if you get haggis left. I had haggis today and a cheese and haggis toasty. You can make spaghetti bolognese with haggis.
I've seen a first today on social media. Jill, actually, that lovely girl from Compass Box, she did a beef Wellington, and instead of mushrooms, she used haggis in the filling. Yes. I thought it was genius, but I am a sucker for haggis bonbons. Like whenever I see them on a menu as a starter, like with some beer mayo, I'm like dying for that. That's delicious. Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us today. I think without further ado, I shall let you on stage and just do your thing. So thank you very much again. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Mariella. And thank you everyone who's listening. In these times of lockdown, Brexit, unemployment, people hacking into your live feeds, worldwide disasters and climate change. There's nothing we enjoy more than celebrating with a wee Burns supper, which is affectionately known, of course, as the Festival of Rabbit Ram. Burns refers to whiskey, of course, as John Barleycorn in many of his poems, and Arn's own John Barleycorn, Arn Whiskey, got me taught here. That gets me through all sorts of crises. I remember one time I was going to a conference and my train broke down, and it was all a bit fraught because I was supposed to be speaking at this event, but I had lots of samples in my case, so nothing daunted, out came the whiskey and I got myself a wee tot, and that just to calm my nerves. And the woman sitting next to me was really grumpy, and she looked at me and she said, "I've never drunk whiskey in my life." So I just guarded the bottle. I said, oh, don't worry, hen, you're not going to get to start now. Anyway, it gives me great pleasure to be here to talk to you about a man who has had more words written about him, more opinions given, and more quotes used daily than any other writer. So what makes this man so special? Mariella was asking us that. Robert Burns was born in Alloway the 25th of January 1759, and he died in Dumfries on the 21st of July 1796. He was only 37, and yet what an impact he's had. So Robert Burns' father moved the family to Alloway from the northeast of Scotland, where he had been a market gardener. He wanted a better life for his young family. Robert was the eldest of 7 children. However, it was a very hard life because William, his father, was always in debt because of unfertile land and high rent, and it was a very, very hard life. So Robert and his younger brother Gilbert, who were the 2 eldest in the family, quite often had to put the hand to the plough themselves. However, his father felt it was very important that the boys get an education, and he clubbed together with some of the other tenant farmers round about, and with that money they were able to employ a tutor for the young Robert and Gilbert. So at the age of 10 or 11, believe this or not, Burns could read, write and speak French and Latin, and had an excellent command of the English and the Scots language. He wrote of whisky in several poems, such as in Scotch Drink, which we shall hear from Simon, or in Tam o' Shanter, where he said, inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou canst make us scorn, we tippany we fear nae evil, Wishkaball will face the devil. It amazes me because this young man, for he was, as I say, only 37 when he died, he was the most well-known and well-loved literary character that we know. But why is that? How does the world celebrate Robert Burns? So I want to have a wee look at some of that. I mean, do you know, Burns was the very first person ever to feature on a commemorative bottle of Coca-Cola. The US President, Abraham Lincoln, had a lifelong admiration for the poet's work, and some say that the poems helped him to win the American Civil War and abolish slavery. Steinbeck famously paid tribute to Burns in naming his classic of Mice and Men, and Catcher in the Eye by Salinger also was a play inspired by the words coming through their eye. So it's a play in words there. The USSR marked the 160th anniversary of his death with a stamp commemorating his life. In 1911, the Burns Club of Atlanta built a life-size replica of Burns Cottage. And Tommy Hilfiger, the fashion designer, claims to be a great-great-great nephew of Robert Burns. Folk hero Bob Dylan once said that one of his greatest creative sources of inspiration was the Burns song, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. Glasgow film A Fond Kiss took its title, of course, from the song of the same name, and his works have appeared in many Hollywood movies. We know about It's a Wonderful Life, Maid of Honour, When Harry Met Sally, Sex and the City, and of course that time classic, one that everybody knows, Minions. The works of Burns have even reached further and worldwide, because astronaut Nick Patrick took a small book of his poems on a fortnight-long space mission with him in 2010. He completed a 5.7-mile trip with 217 orbits of the Earth. Now, I wonder if Burns back in the 18th century ever thought in his wildest dreams that his words would maybe go so far. Do you know there's only 2 non-religious historic figures who've got more statues erected in their memory than Robert Burns, and that's Queen Victoria and Christopher Columbus. That just shows how popular the man is worldwide. Because in his short life, Burns gave us so much, and in so many varying styles. He told us, of course, in the beautiful lyrics of My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose, and we're going to hear the music from Barry later, but has there ever been a more passionate battle cry than Scots wi' hae wi' Wallace blade, Scots whan Bruce is aften laid, welcome to your gory bed, or to victory. So you get the love and the romance, and you get the battle cry. He also wrote with humour. He introduced us to Willie Wassell's ugly wife, as well as cursing the envenomed stang of the toothache. He could reach into our hearts with melancholy, such verse as To a Mouse and A Fond Kiss and Then We Sever, A Farewell, Alas, Forever. He even wrote specifically for women in such pieces as John Anderson, My Jo John, and Lament to Mary Queen of Scots, and of course, The Rights of Women. Often we hear of his gallivanting with such women, but we've got to remember that he was raised in rurality, within a culture where there was a really healthy attitude to sex, even if the Kirk session didn't always agree. Burns also travelled across Scotland in an era where most people lived, worked and died within a few miles of their birthplace, so opportunities for liaisons were most probably more readily available for him on all his travels. Now, he never made it to Arran, probably because nobody at Arran in those days, who knows. But I know, had he come to Arran, and had he been able to enjoy a wee sip of this Arran malt, he would have been a very happy man indeed. And who knows what beautiful literary works we might be enjoying today, even more so. Burns was also able to mock men such as himself in works such as Last May a braw wooer came down the Lang Glen, and sair wi' his love he did deed me. I said there was naething I hated a man. The juice gave him to believe me. The juice gave him to believe me. He left us quotations that are used daily worldwide, lines such as the best laid schemes of ice and men, and lads and poor the gift he gies. And no other song is sung as much the world over, and usually wrongly, as Auld Lang Syne, which is in over 170 movie soundtracks. It's Auld Lang Syne, not Auld Lang Syne, Auld Lang Syne. On the 1st of July 1999, could there have been a better song for the opening of the new Scottish Parliament than A Man's a Man? Very appropriate. Then let us pray that come it may, as come it will for all that sense and worth o'er all the earth shall bear the gree and all that. For all that and all that, it's coming yet for all that man to man the world o'er shall brothers be for all that. And I think indeed that shows how much Burns was a man ahead of his time. These are truly inspiring words, perhaps now even more so when we see what has happened in the last fortnight over in America, you know, than the 200 years ago when they were written, 220 years ago. I mean, one Robert Burns worth 100 Bannock Burns. To sum up, let us take some lines from John Barleycorn. John Barleycorn was a hero bold, of noble enterprise, for if you do but taste his blood, 'twill make your courage rise. 'Twill make a man forget his woes, 'twill heighten all his joy. 'Twill make the widow's heart to sing, though the tear were in her eye. And let us toast John Barleycorn, each man a glass in hand, and may his great posterity ne'er fall in old Scotland. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to ask you all to raise your glasses in a toast to the immortal memory of Robert Burns. Slán Java.
Thank you so much, Sheila. That was wonderful. And I can tell you, as a non-Scottish person, every time I hear an immortal memory or just, you know, talking about Robert Burns with so much passion and pride, it's just wonderful. So thank you very much.
My pleasure, Mariella. My pleasure.
Cool. I hope you have a nice haggis and dinner planned out later. So
yes.
I hope you'll enjoy that with a few drams, and I hope that you'll join us one day again on the stream.
Of course, Mariella. Cool. Thank you. Slán, everybody.
Slán. Cool, thank you very much. And thank you for telling us where you're all connected from. It's amazing. It's literally all over the world, from Canada, from the US, all over Europe. Someone is in Saltcoats, I see in Ayrshire, not too far away, but still, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I hope you're enjoying it and you're having a lovely dram as well. I think I'm just gonna call our next guest on screen, which is Simon. Are you ready, Simon? Here we are. Hello, Simon.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me join your wonderful evening. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. A bit less nervous now that the hackers are gone. Now I'm ready to party and have fun.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, thanks. Oh, I think you're biased, but it's okay. Thank you very much anyway. No, but thank you very much, Simon, for joining us. And you are going to be our performer of the address to the haggis, which I have previously seen you doing. So I'm excited to seeing it again live on screen. So that's going to be exciting. But I also know a very cool fact about you, Simon, because I've done my research, you see. I found out that you are a distant relative of Robert Burns itself. Is that true?
You know, it's a fascinating question, Mary. It's one that I've started to ask myself in recent times. You see, Burns and I, we were neighbours, albeit a few hundred years apart. I mean, I grew up practically next door to Burns Cottage in Alloway in Ayrshire. But as to whether we are in fact related, I heard your last guest, Sheila, mention that Tommy Hilfiger believes he's related. Well, I don't have the fashion sense of Tommy Hilfiger, and I certainly don't have the intelligence of Burns. And so if I am in fact related to him, I certainly fell very far from the tree. But I do love the idea that you suggest, Mary, and if perhaps we can go on one of those shows someday to indeed find out whether I am related, that would be my honour, I'm sure, more than his.
I'll organize it. Done it. Like, soon, like your next birthday, we'll organize it. We'll do a whole show, a whole performance, and we'll discover. It could be yes, it could be no. Who knows? But the suspense will, just make us live for the moment. So.
Well, I mean, let's not rule it in, but then let's not rule it out.
Exactly. It's more like a mystery, a suspense. I also know, because I've actually been extremely lucky to be shown around there from you quite a few years ago, I think now. Time flies when you're having fun. So, and also we're going to have a lovely video later, which obviously I would like to credit you because you are the creator of the video that will be playing when Francie joins us on screen, and I'll do a lovely performance of Shanter. So, guys, when you see the video later, remember that all the talent and the skills of Simon from Simply Whiskey as well. That is cool. I think I should just leave you the screen and the stage for your performance if you're ready. Is that okay?
It is indeed. Let's
Amazing.
go.
Thank you very much, Simon, again. This is Simon with the address to a haggis.
Well, I mean, that's quite an image there, Mary. It brings into sharp contrast exactly what it is and we are enjoying when we enjoy haggis. We're doing things a little bit differently this year. I hope you forgive me. This will be my haggis. Yep, but you'll be happy to know I do in fact have a knife, which I'll be using. Now, it gives me great honour. It is my privilege to address for you your haggis. Perhaps you have a real one in your home, and I hope that if you do, that you will please allow me to address your haggis. So, right, let's go. Fair thaw your honest sonsy face, great chieftain o' the puddin' race, aboon the ma ye tak your place, pinch, triper, therm, wheel, are you worthy o' a grace as lang's my arm. The groaning trencher there you fill, your hurdies like a distant hill, your pen would help to mend a mill in time of need, and through the pores the dews distill, like amber bead. His knife, see rustic labour dicht, and catch ye up with ready slicht, trenching your gushing entrails brick like onidage, and then oh, what a glorious sight! Warm, reeking rich, then horn for horn they stretch and strive, they'll take the hindmost on they drive, till all their whilst wilt pipe alive or bent like drum, and all good men mislike to rive. But think it hum. Is here that o'er his French ragout, or olio that would stow a sou, or fricassee would mak or spew with perfect honour, look down with sneered and scorn for view and sick of dinner? Poor deal, see him over his trash, as fickles as withered rash, his spindle shank a good whip lash, his neva necked through bloody fludder field to dash. Oh, how unfit. But mark, the rustic haggis bed, the trembling earth resounds his tread, clap in his wally neva blade, he'll mak it whistle, and legs, and arms, and heads will sned, like taps a thistle. Your powers what mak mankind your care, and dish them out their billow fair. Old Scotland wants nae skinking wear like jolts and luggies, and if you wish a grateful prayer, ye her a haggis. Ladies and gentlemen, address to the haggis. Slanjavar, cheers to wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much. To the haggis.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Simon.
No problem, Mary. No problem at all. And I hope you don't mind the slight break with tradition.
I just want to inform everyone that is watching that the haggis was not harmed in this video. I hope. That looks like a good sharp knife there.
In case you're wondering, I'm not a vegetarian. I adore haggis. And, you know, like Sheila, if we could have Burns nights all the year round, we could have haggis all the year round. Of course, you can buy it in the supermarkets all the year round. What a tasty dish. What a wonderful, wonderful dish.
Both you and Sheila are getting a lot of love on social media, and everyone is commenting with very good words. I love this comment, especially from Rybert. I don't know where you are writing us from, but he said, "Excellent, Simon, you're making me thirsty, but it's only lunchtime." So you need to wait a little bit longer for your celebration then. But that was amazing. That was fantastic. Simon, thank you very much. As I said, Sheila, I hope to have you again perform for us. Great performance. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your Burns night.
Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. That was amazing. Very strong start. So we have the lovely Sheila and the lovely Simon. Lovely is my word of the day. I think I'm going to say it until the end of this video. I just like it. And but now, actually, our next guest is streaming directly from one of our distilleries, our lag distillery on the southern part of the island. I don't know if you ever heard about that. We're now on the Arran whiskey page, but as of 2019, we actually started making spirit, heavily peated spirit on the southern part of the island. I was super happy and lucky that one of the team members on the lag decided to join us today. Her name is Barry, and here she is. Hello, how are you, Barry? Oh, you're on mute. I think that's my fault. I'm sorry. This is one of the technical difficulties. Can you please? Perfect. There you go.
There we go. Hello.
You muted yourself there. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Nice. Thank you very much for joining us and for bringing your instrument all the way to Lag. But you told me you don't live that far away from it. I hope it wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad.
That's good. It's good. Nice. So that's our second guest joining us directly from Arran, which is awesome. And you're gonna play two pieces for us today, Vary, isn't it?
Yes, I've got one piece on the fiddle and one piece on the harp.
That's amazing. So you're gonna play a Red Red Rose on the fiddle first, and then you're gonna get the harp later, which is amazing. So what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna leave the stage as well. I'll just put the lovely banner for you, and then when the banner goes off, feel free to start.
Perfect.
Here we go.
So here is My Love is Like a Red Red Rose.
was beautiful. Thank you very much, Patty. That was absolutely beautiful. People are enjoying it as well in the comment. Someone said that a chihuahua is going crazy because he heard you through a video, which is very funny. But that's one of my favorite songs since I discovered Robert's poems turned to music. It actually has become one of my favorites. So it's lovely to hear it on a fiddle like that. Thank you. So I think you just need a little bit of time before you move on to the harp. Is that true?
Yeah, I'll just go and put my fiddle down and grab the harp.
Absolutely. Thank you. Take your time. Thank you very much. I just want to apologize again for the people that didn't make it in time. Someone did say in the comments that you missed this one because the first one didn't go through. I'm sorry about that. We've been hacked, but I'm glad that we're here live now. So you can always rewatch this video afterwards. Will be available on Facebook and YouTube. So that's good. Fiona is saying that was her mom's favorite, and you're bringing tears to her eyes. Beautifully played. I agree, 100%. Don Hammond is saying you should be playing in the warehouses, serenading the casks. So I think lag whiskey casks or future lag whiskey casks are already doing pretty well. But if that helps, would you be willing to be playing a few hours a day in the warehouses? Whoa. Cool. So you're all ready to go again. So I'm just gonna leave the stage to you again. So you're gonna play "You Banks Embrace" for us now. So for all of you at home watching it, here we go.
So here is "You Banks Embrace."
Again, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you do play for other Burns Night like events as well. I remember you telling me.
Yeah, last year I played at the one in Kildonan, and for a few years now I've been playing at the women's rural one.
That's amazing. God, I do love like some music on the harp. I just said to the other guests, I wish I was in the distillery. Especially with so much empty space, it must be amazing to hear that. So I hope that one day you'll get to play for us live at the distillery so that we can all enjoy it live as well.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's cool. Thank you very much, Patty. I hope that I'll get to see you soon when we're able to travel and I'm able to come and visit the distilleries again. But in the meanwhile, enjoy Burns Night and see you soon.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. That was amazing. I'm pretty happy with myself for choosing so many talented guests. I'm not doing much tonight. I'm just introducing them and letting them do their bits, and they're all very, very good. So, very good night. Cool. So I think it's time to get our next guest in, which is the lovely, lovely, lovely Francie. Hello, Francie.
Oh, it's me. I'm just eating my haggis. I'm still eating my haggis. I'm not finished yet. I was enjoying the show.
They're big bags. Those bags,
It
aren't they?
just keeps getting better and better and better. I mean, Sheila was fantastic with the immortal memory. Simon with his address, beautiful, and then Mary, sublime. I mean, it just goes to show the breadth of Burns and what he's done, what he's created. So no pressure for me, I guess. No pressure.
No pressure at all. I mean, there's still Andrew waiting as the, as the last performer. He has all
He's
the
got
pressure.
to follow me. Andrew's got to follow me. Oh,
Exactly. How are you doing today, Francie?
Mary, I'm having a great time. I'm enjoying this. This is fantastic. I mean,
love your
listen, if we can't be together at Burns Night, this is the next best thing. You've got your Aaron friends in the chat. We've got fabulous whiskey. I'm also enjoying the Aaron Robert Burns.
Cheers.
I've got a wee beer here as well for the Loch Lomond Distillery. Very nice.
Nice.
Some
Enough,
Tiffany.
enough with an haggis. You're treating yourself. You're having a wonderful night. And look at that setting. I absolutely love it. I actually took this idea from you, as you can see. I just stole my boyfriend's flag, and I think I might just leave it here. I think my boss will like it, so I might just leave it. Why not? It looks beautiful.
It's a permanent addition to my living room now. So, you're right. I don't know if the wife's going to be too happy, but it is what it is.
That is cool. So today we had a bit of a change of plan, didn't we? So we were planning to do one poem, but then we decided to do something else. I'm actually pretty happy that we decided to do something else because I saw you performing Shanter live on virtually, and I thought it was great. So I'm happy that you're doing that for us. So do you want to tell us about it? Like, tell us a little bit about the poem, when it was written,
Absolutely.
what it's about.
So Shanter is, in my eyes, not only Burns' greatest story or poem, but it's the greatest story in the Scots language ever. It was written in 1790 for a man called Francis Gross, who was an antiquarian, and he was creating a book about Scotland. And he was a friend of Burns. He'd met Burns the year after. Unfortunately, Francis passed in 791, but Burns sent him a poem for an illustration of Alloway Kirk. He wanted to include an illustration of Alloway Kirk in his book, and he asked Robert Burns if he could write something that would go alongside, and Burns, being the great friend that he is, never disappoints, and he wrote Shanter. Now, what is Shanter? It's a story that I think we can all relate to even now. It's based on a man who has finished his work, and after work, he decides to go to the pub to have a drink. And he has a wonderful time with his friends. And the night goes on, and he gets more drunk. And then he realizes that he must go home to his wife. So it's about that, and it's about his journey on the way home. We've all been there, where we leave the pub and then we wake up the next morning and we wonder, how did I get home, right? So this is what Tam encounters on his way home. So and there are several characters in it. There is Meg, his horse, Kate, his wife, Alloway Kirk is a main character as well, and then we have a witch called Nanny. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's amazing. So sounds fun. It sounds like a good night as well. I think, as you said, we can all relate to that as well. So we also have a beautiful video, which to show, as we said before, that Simon, your partner in crime at Simply Whiskey put together. So what I'm gonna do, because I have not done it before, is we started a new streaming. I'm actually going to share it on the screen again. So if you can just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
It is my...
And guys, this story does last a little while. So if you can have a dram, please do. Sit back, enjoy, and yeah, enjoy the story.
That is cool. I'm sorry, this is completely my fault. Those hackers. There we go. I can't seem to be able to share this video anymore. This is not working as it was working before, unfortunately. Oh, here we go. Maybe I found it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, That is perfect. So, Francie, I'm sorry about the technical issues, but here we are again. And thank you very much for deciding to perform Tamo Shanter for us. I'm just going to leave the stage to you in a second. So thank you very much again.
Tamo Shanter, a tale. When Chapman Billies leave the street and drouthy neighbours meet as market days are weir and late and folk begin to tack the gate, whilst we sit boozing at the nappy getting fou and unca happy, we think now on the lang Scots miles, the mosses, waters, slaps and styles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brews like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth fand honest Tamo Shanter is he, frae air ye nicht did canter. All there, where near a tune surpasses for honest men and bonny lasses. Oh, Tam, hadst thou but been sae wise as ta'en thine ain wife Kate's advice, she told thee well thou was a scalum, a blethering, blustering, drunken blellum, that frae November till October, ye market day thou was thee sober, that ilka melder with a miller, that sat long as thou had siller, that every naig was cod a shoon, the smith and thee got roaring foo, and that at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou drank wi' Kirkton Jean till Monday. She prophesied that later soon thou would be found deep drowned in Doon, or catched wi' warlocks in the muck by Alba's old haunted kirk. A gentle dame's it gars me greet to think how many counsels sweet, how many lengthened saged advices the husband frae the wife despises. But to our tale, ye market nicht. Tam had got planted, unco recht, fast by an angle bleezing finely with reaming swats that drank the vilely, and at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient trusted drouthy crony. Tam lewed him like a very breeder. They'd been fou for weeks together. The nicht drave on with sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious with favours, secrets, sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories. The landlord's laugh was ready, chorus the storm. Without micht rare and rustle, Tam didn't mind the storm a whistle. Care, mad to see a man so happy, and drowned himself among the nappy as bees flee hame with lades of treasure. Their minutes winged their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread. You seize the flower, its bloom is shed, or like the snow falls on the river, a moment white, then melts forever, or like the borealis race that flit, where you can point their place, or like the rainbow's lovely form, vanishing amid the storm. No man can tether time nor tide. The hour approaches, Tam, mon right. That hour of nicht, black arch the ski stain, that dreary hour he mounts his beast in, and sick of nicht he tacks the road in as near poor sinner was abroad in. The wind blawed as 'twid blawn its last, the doubling storms rose on the blast, the speedy gleams the darkness swallowed, loud deep and lang the thunder bellowed. That nicht a child might understand. The deal had business on his hand. We'll mount it on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg. Tam skelp it on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his good blue bonnet, whilst green an hour an old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent cares lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirkalloway was drawing nigh where guests and hoolics netly cry. By this time he was crossed the ford where in the snow the chapman smored, past the Burks and Meikle Stane, where drunken Charlie Braxneck Bane, and through the winds and by the cairn where hunters fun that murdered bairn, and near the thorn aboon the well where Mungo's mother hung herself. Before him, Doon pours all his floods. The doubling storms rose through the woods. The lichtnings flashed from pole to pole, near and more near the thunder's roar, whilst glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirkalloway seemed in a bleeze. Through ilka bore the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou canst make us scorn. We tip a knee, we fear nae evil, we Ishkaba will face the devil. The swats say reamed in Tammy's noddle. Fair play, he cared nae deals a bodle, but Maggie, stood richt stare astonished, till by the healing hand admonished, she ventured forward on the licht, and whoa, Tam saw an unco sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance. Nae cotillon brent new for France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathbays and reels put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in shape a beast. A towsy type black grim and large, to gear him music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gat them skirl, till roof and rafters added dirl. Coffins stood around like open presses that showed the deed and their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrip slicht. Each in its call horn held a licht, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the haily table a murderer's banes and gibbetairns, twa spanglang wee unchristened bairns, a thief new cut it frae a rape, with his last gasp him gad did gape, 5 tomahawks with blood red rusted, 5 scimitars with murder crusted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whom his ain son a life bereft, the grey hairs yet stacked to the heft, with mair a horrible and awfy, which even to name would be unlawful. 3 lawyers' tongues, turned inside out with lies, seemed like a beggar's glue. 3 priests' hairs rotten black as muck, lay stinking vile in every nook. As Tammy glowered amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They crossed, they set, they reeled, they click it, till Ilka Carlin swat and reek it, and kissed her duddies to the wark, and liking at it in her sack. Oh Tam, had they been queens, oh plump and strapping, in their teens their sacks, instead of creasy flannin, been snow white 1700 linen. These breeks of mine, my ainly pair that aince were good a plush blue hair, I would have given them off my hardies for a blink of they bonny birdies. But whether beldams old and droll, rig with the hags would spin a foal, lightning creaking on a crimmet, oh, when I'd never turn my stomach. But Tam kent what was wit fu brawly. There was ye wensome wenching Wally, that nicht enlisted in the Cong, long after Kendon Carrick shore. For mony a beast to did she shot, and perished mony a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and bear, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark o' paisley harn, that as a lassie she had worn in longitude, though sorely scanty, was her best, and she was vanty. Thy little ken, thy reverend granny, that sark she coughed for her wee nanny, with 2 pun Scots was all her riches, would ever graced a dance of witches. But here, my muse, her wingman cure, sick flicks are far beyond her poor. To sing how Nanny lap and flang, a supple jade she wasn't strang. How Tam stood like ane bewitched, though he's very enriched. Even Satan glared and fidged through fain, and hotched and blew with mick and main, till first ye keep her sign another. Tam tinnies he's not the guy yells it, well done, kitty sark! And in an instant, I was dark. Scarcely had he Maggie rallied when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees bazook with angry fight when plundering herds assail their bike, as open pussy's mortal foes when pop she starts afore their nose, as eager runs the market crowd when catch the thief resounds aloud. So Maggie runs, the witch's folly, with mony an eldrick screech and holly. Ah Tam, thou get thy fearing, and hail the roasty like a herring, in vain thy kate awaits thy coming. Kate soon will be a wolfy woman. Now, do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and when the key stain o' the brig there, at them do thy tail may toss, the running stream, the darenay cross, but ere the key stain she could make, the faint a tail she had to shake, for Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle, but little wist she Maggie's mettle, ye spring brought over Master Hale, left behind her ain grey tail. Now, while this tale of truth shall read, ilka man and mother son take heed. Whenever to drink you are inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind, think you might buy the joys our dear, remember Tam o' Shanter's mare. Slanjavar.
I'm clapping as everyone else is clapping too. That was a long poem, but man, it's just amazing.
It's a great poem. It's a great story.
and an amazing performance as well. So again, like it's always wonderful to watch, no matter how many times I've seen it. It's still like amazing. So I hope one day I'll get to learn even just one verse and learn it to perform it with the same accent and the same passion that you do, man. That's my goal for this year. Learn one
I'll
verse
teach
like
you,
that.
Mary. I'll teach you.
Please do teach me. I do need help. No, but that was amazing. Thank you very much. I hope there's a haggis waiting for you by now. Oh, you have a little quick. I have a little one. Yours is a little bit.
Well, guys, thank you for allowing me to be part of your Burns night. An absolute pleasure, an honour, and I hope you enjoyed the story as much as I did reciting it. I mean, fantastic. Thank you, Mary, and
Brilliant.
great success so
Thank
far.
you.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cool. We'll see you later, Francie.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. It was amazing, and thank you as well for everyone for sticking around until now. You've been following us since the very beginning. I really hope you're enjoying it as much as I am, and comments for all the performance feedback has been amazing. So I'm glad you're all enjoying it fully wherever you are. That's amazing. So we have the last performer of the night, which has been the most patient, has been with us since the beginning, and is still here. So let me bring it on screen. Andrew, hello there. How are you?
Hello, Marielle. How are you doing?
Are you bored yet? Are you okay?
Oh, I'm really enjoying the performances. Got to say, they're quite some acts to follow.
Yeah, but I'm sure you'll do absolutely fine. I had the pleasure of working with Andrew for a short while, I would say, in London. But I still have in mind. I don't know if you remember that night. I think it was a summer party in the office, and I remember very late you decided to get the pipes and play for all of us, and we all started dancing in like a sort of like warehouse parking space.
Yeah, any excuse to get the pipes out.
Exactly, absolutely loved it. So I have that memory of you. That's why I thought I'd get in touch and ask if you wanted to be part of these virtual celebrations tonight. And it's amazing
Really
to have you.
Yeah, more than happy.
It's cool. So yeah, I might just leave it with you. I hope you had a few drams while the other guys were performing, so your lungs are nice and warm now.
Yeah, got myself warmed up. I'm good to go.
It's cool, amazing. So, stage is all yours. Last performance of today is some wonderful bagpiping. I hope you'll enjoy it. So that's it. This is Andrew with two different pieces, but he will mix them up. It's a man for a dat and the classic Old Lang Syne. So here we go.
Yeah, so as Mariella said, we're going to play two tunes back to back. A Man's a Man for All That, which I'm not sure if it's traditionally what you pipe in the haggis to, but it's one of Burns' most well-known tunes on the bagpipe. So we normally pipe the haggis into that, and then I'll follow it with Old Lang Syne. So hopefully the pipes are still in tune.
wonderful.
Hopefully the microphone worked out.
No, it was perfect, and we can still hear you perfectly now. And I wish I had like 1,000 people around me to shake hands with and sing. That was absolutely lovely. So thank you very much, Andrew. And cheers.
Thanks very much.
Enjoy your friend's night.
Cheers.
Thank you. That was it for tonight. And I hope, as I said before, wherever you are in the world, you're celebrating Burns Night, or if you're not, find this video later on and enjoy Burns Night. Anyway, as Sheila said, you can enjoy it any night. You don't have to be Scottish. You know, you just appreciate all the beauty of this night and Robbie Burns' life, and you can celebrate it whenever and wherever you want. So, cheers to you guys for all the lovely comments and all the love that you've been sharing tonight. And I hope soon enough we all get to celebrate face to face again, and hugging each other, drinking together, dancing and singing, and enjoying life again like we used to. So cheers to the future, and cheers to Robert Burns. Slange.